Hey minions, welcome to Crank It Up. I'm Jim Price, and on this episode of Calling All Titans, I want to talk about Rainboroc, one of the first Titans, debuting in Big in Japan. When this set first came out, I was extremely skeptical of Titans. In my own group, we viewed Rainboroc as the weakest Titan on paper, but that has very much changed. Now, I think it's the second best of the four. Rainboroc seemed difficult to play because it required you to win a base first. If Titans were supposed to be a core part of your strategy, and winning was a prerequisite for playing your Titan, then how are you supposed to win without using your core strategy? And given that the Itty Critters rely on their 2s, losing them would mean that you wouldn't win a base, and therefore delayed your method of recurring them. But this is all wrong. The Itty Critters can win a base without Rainboroc, and Rainboroc is more about sustaining the charge rather than leading it. Rainboroc can enter play to replace the base you just won, but you can also bring it into play faster using Evolution. Evolution can normally be used into a slightly higher power minion, but the Itty Critters lack any direct upgrades from 2 to 3 power. You can turn a 2 into another 2, but that's generally a waste. So it makes sense to bring out Rainboroc, who can immediately shuffle back in the minion you destroyed. In addition to gaining power the first time you play a minion on its base, Rainboroc can potentially move. If you shuffle in a minion of power 2 or less, you have the option to move Rainboroc to another base, where you can play another 2-powered minion and gain another power counter, because it was the first time you played a 2-power minion at that base. The power is definitely nice, and having a Titan with innate power that is mobile really helps with efficiency, but I find that mobility and recycling are the Titan's true strengths. I will use Rainboroc as my only presence on a base if I know that it cannot be removed, which is often the case, and if it has at least 1 power to guarantee scoring, I may just leave him there and farm his shuffling. For the Itty Critters themselves, this is great because you need your 2s to be in your deck. Drawing your 2s is pretty terrible, because then your higher level minions cannot play them, and when they are played as your regular minion play, they can be pretty unordinary. If they were to be played and get destroyed, the Itty Critters would suffer if they never brought them back, which is why it's great that Rainboroc has free recycling. This allows the Critter Champion to draw a card every turn, to increase in power every turn, to destroy a low-powered minion every turn, replace a different card, or push a minion off the base every turn. Rainboroc directly increases the value of the Critter Champion by ensuring that you always have 2-power minions to play. But Rainboroc can sustain other factions that are driven by their power 2s. I'm not going to mention the Grims because I just covered them yesterday. Robots and penguins are pretty self-explanatory. But the killer plants are also focused on their 2s, who destroy themselves and tend to be minion-starved. Rainboroc can recycle the sprouts, so the Venus Mantrap always has a sprout to play, or an Itty Critter itself if the timing is appropriate. You can use the sprouts as a mini Critter Coach, as the Venus Mantrap can grab a sprout that later turns into Calicoin while fetching Krakatoad with the Venus Mantrap. Critter Coach makes for an awesome Blossom play, and you need the ability to recur those 3 2s after a single burst. War Raptors are great because their power stacks and allows for exponential growth, but there's a problem. You only have 4 War Raptors, and the dinosaurs have no recycling. So you can do 2 and 2 for 8 power each base and a total of 16 power, or you can do 3 and 1 for 15 and 3 power, a total of 18. The problem is, that last one is relatively weak and doesn't add the type of power swing that the Itty Critters need because of their endgame nature. So having Rainboroc recycle the War Raptors is a great opportunity, because War Raptors are also the type of minion that is okay to draw. You would absolutely want to play 1 War Raptor from your hand, while triggering another with Critter Champion. If you recycle War Raptors frequently, but not all of them, you can play 1 from your hand, 1 from your deck, and 1 from your discard pile, all in the same turn for a total of 15 War Raptor power, plus 5 from your Critter Champion. And because Rainboroc can always move as long as you have a minion to recycle, you can send it over for additional power as needed. If your faction has minions that exploit printed power, they are naturally very Rainboroc friendly. Putting your minions back into the deck so that the Critter Coaches can grab them for 4 extra power? Yes please. The Shapeshifters love to destroy their own minions, but given that the Itty Critters are often temporary and can recycle themselves every turn anyway, maybe you don't need to worry about avoiding the destruction. The Shapeshifters are one play where evolution makes sense because you can turn a copycat into a mimic, where you can use one minion for its on-play ability, then turn it into a more powerful minion, knowing that you can recycle the first minion anyway. The shapeshifters can often pull minions from their deck, so the recycling is very powerful. The Flower Child is also an excellent recycle target, as you can use them to steal more powerful minions. What you give someone else in exchange is a low-powered 2 minion that is perfect cannon fodder for Shell Shock. As a result, you just steal someone else's 3, potentially on any base since the Flower Child ability is global. Rainboroc instantly puts the Flower Child back into your deck, and the elves have the card draw to repeat this often. They are also insulated from drawing too much, as they can discard their 2s and shuffle them back in with Rainboroc to use for your coaches. Other targets can include factions whose 2s are played often and tend to be played in groups, such as the Makos. The Itty Critters can trigger destruction, unleashing several Makos at once, but normally you can only do this once. However, recycling the Makos, the type of 2 you'd actually want to draw, is beneficial because it opens up more strategic plays. Instead of finishing with a Krakatoad, you can finish with a Shell Shock, simultaneously lowering someone else and increasing your own power. The same can be said of Mythic Greeks, because the Argonauts are easy to play. You can play them as minions or as actions, so over-recycling them is not a problem because it's like recycling an action as well. The Argonauts are also good critter champion targets, as they can trigger Odysseus for free on turns where you aren't even trying to break a base. I could go on, but my point is that Rainboroc is really an extension of the critter champion, ensuring that you always have interesting minions to pull on demand. There are no shortage of critter champion targets, a minion who only gets stronger as the game evolves, and Rainboroc lets you play them continuously. Most Titans can do one or two things. Having a Titan that can add power, move, and recycle minions is a definite boon and makes Rainboroc extremely relevant. It may not be the uncapped powerhouse that Gorgonzola is for the kaiju, but Rainboroc is a worthy successor in its own right. What do you think of Rainboroc? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, let's shut it down.